everyone. Welcome to Quick Count. My name is Codd Sinclair. Today's episode is from Friday, January 29th, 2021. The goal was to end with the historic match between the Impact World Champion Sami Callihan and the challenger Tessa Blanchard. It was just unfortunate that I kind of fell under the weather for a little bit. So here we are. We are going to get to it now. Josh Matthews, Don Callis on the call. We get a pretty great video package capped off with Josh Matthews giving a Randy Orton name drop, saying that most consider him to be the best third-generation superstar, but Tessa could take that spot with a big win here tonight. Sami not waiting for the ring announcer's introductions to finish. Gets a pump kick, hits a pile driver, kicks out. Sami immediately on the offense. Tessa's on the top rope, but she bites him and hits Magnum for a near fall. We get this big face-off between both of them. Tessa gets the better of an exchange. Tilt-a-whirl head scissors sends Sami to the outside, followed by a trifecta of suicide dives from the challenger. Big senton to the outside on Sami, but Sami regains momentum, steals a beer from a fan in the crowd, hits Tessa right in the face. Don Callis calls Sami's next move a Texas handkerchief. Just blows a snot rocket on Tessa. That's the other thing here. During this entire match, Sami Callihan's disgusting. I know that's kind of in line with his character work. But you see at one point there's, and I don't mean to be disgusting, but there's snot coming out of his nose. There's like spit and mucus coming out of the sides of his mouth. And obviously, like right here, there's a snot rocket. So interesting, but I don't think anybody could have played the heel to Tessa's face better than Sami. But back to the match, Sami locks in and a version of the Indian Deathlock on Tessa. Keeps working on the knee, obviously trying to get her finishing move Magnum out of the way. Crowd really trying to get behind Tessa, and this is when I noticed she was starting to get up, but the ref is counting, like it's a last man standing match or a boxing fight. So I'm a little confused at this point. Sami's still working on the knees. Tessa does use her quickness to avoid some of the offense of Sami. But just when Tessa's getting some offense of her own, Sami slaps her back down to the mat. And this is an open hand slap. But to the outside, Tessa goes for a cannonball off the apron. Sami catches her and power bombs her through a table. So this is back to maybe a rule that I missed, or just in general something that I didn't catch in the build up to this match, or maybe an Impact World Championship rule that was in place that I missed. But if it's no disqualification, say that. If it's any of the rules stipulation, just say it, and there's no confusion. But the two instances there, definitely a little bit confusing. But we do get Sami pulling the mats up from ringside. They're both on the apron. We get another face-off. Exchanging eye rakes. Tessa to the top and hits Magnum off of the top rope, off on the apron. Both are out on the outside. Sami gets in at 9, and it looks like the ref stops his count to make sure that Tessa gets in before he's forced to count 10. And I noticed that before the next moment in this match where Sami rolls in and he's arguing with the official, saying that he beat the count and Tessa didn't. But Tessa's trying to take all that Sami can give her, multiple knife-edge chops. She continues to tell him to just hit her, but he goes to and then takes her knee out instead. Great heel work, as always, from Sami. He's off the ropes. She catches him with a Samoan drop. This is something that's always kind of grinded my gears a little bit. A smaller person hitting a Samoan drop is just a transition move. And most times they play it off as this big, like, turn of the tide. When you get a Samoan drop from, an actual bigger guy, it makes sense. But using the Samoan drop as a transition move is kind of a slap in the face. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. But out of nowhere, we get Tessa hitting Magnum out of the corner for a near fall. Tessa to the top, going for it again. Sami avoids this time. Sami hits a get out of here for a near fall. They trade forearm shots until Sami connects with a German suplex. Tessa hits a cutter out of nowhere, only good for a near fall. Sami with a sit-out power bomb and right into working on the knee again. Locks in an STF, but Tessa gets her foot on the rope. Sami's done with it. He grabs the world title. And for some reason, the ref is telling him not to use it. He'll be disqualified. And this is where I just was lost as to what kind of world title match this is. What the rules are, where the lines are, the counting, putting through a table. If we're gonna allow for somebody to be put through a table, then what's the difference between that and a world title shot to the head? There's nothing. It would still be a disqualification, period. But as the referee takes the title away from Sami, he gets brass knuckles out of his pocket, and as the ref's back is turned, Tessa takes him to Dick Kick City. Tessa goes to the top, hits yet another Magnum. Sami kicks out of this one, and she locks in the crossface immediately. He bites her this time to get out of the hold. He hits another big pile driver. She does kick out. Tessa with 2 Canadian destroyers, one of which from the second turnbuckle, hits a DDT and gets the win. Tessa Blanchard is your new Impact World Heavyweight Champion. Tessa would unfortunately only make one title defense, and that would be against Taya Valkyrie, before being stripped of the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Some say it was due... There are a few different rumors as to why she never came back to Impact. Some say it was due to travel restrictions. Others say it was because she was using her history-making World Heavyweight Championship win to either use it as leverage or to get a more lucrative deal from Impact. Ultimately, like I said, she was stripped. She's showed up for Warrior a couple of times, and there were rumors of her even being in this past year's Rumble, which obviously did not happen. But ultimately, there was a 5-way elimination match at this past year's Slammiversary to crown a new World Heavyweight Champion. I'm not going to spoil who it is, who wins that match, because I think it was one of the better matches that Impact put on during the pandemic era. So I think you should go check it out. So with all that being said, I'm giving this match a 1.5 count. I have really mixed feelings on this match. It progressively got better, and there were some hard-hitting spots. When the match got momentum, though, it wouldn't keep it going to build suspense. And that's what I really think this needed to really take it to the next level. I did give it a half-count bump due to the historic nature of the result. But aside from that, I think it was just okay. Impact has since put on a couple of better World Heavyweight Championship matches. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Quick Count. Have you seen this match? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. If you haven't, you can find this match and timestamps in the description. While you're there, check out all of our social media links, including links to our Ko-fi page and my Discord, where you can get daily and weekly show updates. As always, thank you for watching. My name is Codd Sinclair, and I will see you next time.